good, beautiful people? It's your girl, Gracey May.
Your boy with Rantz.
And we are the Afro Nation Show. Now, we are joined by a superstar who's been holding it down for a minute now. I am so excited to be talking to the one and only Ailes. I tell a lie with the money.
I tell a lie with the money. G-Mac with the love. Okocha with the ball. Maggie with the sauce. I be a tell a lie with the money. Rantz with the love. Okocha with the ball. I just know moto with the sauce.
I was waiting to see how you pronounce the Ailes because everybody gets it wrong. So I'm like, nice.
What did it really say?
I've heard Ailes,
Ailes.
Ayla.
I hear all sorts of things, bro.
Mad.
So I said it right.
Yeah, you said it right. You said it right.
Praise
But
God and hallelujah.
It seems quite easy to me though. It's not that hard. Ailes. I don't understand how anyone can say it wrong.
I don't know, man.
Is it other Africans that are saying it wrong?
Yeah, even in Nigeria, like they call me Ailes. Like I'm like, wow.
Well, welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you. First of all, loving your grills, loving the bling bling that you're just showing us, just giving us Canada. Wow. So you are Ghanaian and Nigerian. Fun facts, did not know that before I started doing a bit of research.
Word. Yeah, my mom is actually from Volta region in Ghana. My dad is Nigerian, so best of both worlds.
Yep.
That's
mix
cool.
up. But talking about a mix up, you are a Nigerian that is based in Canada. So how is the Afrobeat scene out there?
The Afrobeat scene out here, it's not as big as what it is in London. You know, it's only just growing. There's not a lot of artists out here that's doing Afrobeats. I think it's only about Dice, Ailes, and maybe like Non-Stop Maddie, you know, that's really out here. But I'm hoping that it grows over time. You know, I'm trying to, like, I have my ears on the ground for like new cats out of here because Canada's doing big things. You know, Tory Lanez, Drake, Justin Bieber, and I feel like we need to replicate that in the Afrobeat scene as well.
Did you say Mr. Lanez? Are we still supporting that guy? Anyway, we're moving on. Now, you used to be known as Mr. Miyagi, but now you're Waterman. So tell me, what's the transition? What's the change? Give us all the tea.
I mean, Mr. Miyagi was like 2015, you know. Waterman is the new Dice, it's the drippy Dice. It's, you know, the superhero Dice, you know, and it's the name of the new album. When that drops, you know, everybody will get like a full idea what the Waterman is all about.
Uh-oh, is that some exclusive tea? We're about to get an album.
Yeah. We're dropping an album this year. It's the debut album. You know, Money Dance, the first single off of it, and I'm excited about it. You know, we've been working on this for so long, and you know, now is the right time.
What makes you feel like now is the right time? Because obviously we are still in a pandemic, so in terms of promoting releases and stuff, it is quite difficult. So why do you feel now is the right time?
I think like things have changed over time. The way that people consume music is now different. You know, let's say like 5 years ago, you know, Nigeria or the Afrobeat scene was more of like a singles market. Where people were consuming music fast and the attention span is really low. But since the pandemic, we've seen like a shift in the way people are like, you know, taking in music. Everybody's home, everything's more quiet. So people are listening to more albums. And you could see like, you know, towards the end of last year, everybody's like putting out projects, you know. And so I think now is the right time for people to like listen to good music.
Now, in regards to the kind of sound which you'd expect from the album, then like, how would you describe the journey, the musical journey you're taking us through in the album?
I mean, for me, I like to touch upon like everything, you know, anything musical. Like, you know, I grew up experiencing so many different cultures and ways of life, you know, growing up in Nigeria, living in Republic of Benin, living in Canada, you know, traveling everywhere. I understand how to like, you know, get to different people. So on the album, I'm just experimenting and, you know, just making global music, you know, music that sort of resonates with everybody. And, you know, it's different. You know, it's nothing like you heard before, basically.
Okay, cool. How many tracks on the album?
I don't know right now. You know, I'm like 80% done with the album, still like in the final processes of finalizing, but, you know, we'll see how that goes.
Because I know the hardest part is picking the songs to go on the album. You record like 50 and you gotta pick like 10.
Oh, it's too many songs, man. I get so confused. Even picking a single sometimes, we could spend like weeks just trying to pick, what are we putting out, what's right for the moment. It's really hard, but we do it still.
That's crazy. Now, you've said on the project we're going to see so many sides to you. Again, when I was doing a bit of research, a bit of reading on Dice, I realized that you named yourself Dice because a dice has many sides. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, ding for me. Now, is it true that you grew up in like a musical family? Like your mum was in the choir, your uncles were into music? Is that true?
Yeah, my mom was in the choir. She used to sing a lot, even in the house when she's cooking, like she's singing. My uncles were songwriters, they used to play like instruments. I picked up on the harmonica, I picked up on drums, I picked up on songwriting at a really young age. And, just seeing all that growing up, that sort of shaped me into Dice.
That is so sick. Now, do you still play the harmonica?
I haven't touched it in a while. I should actually try.
Growing up then, rumor has it that you thought you were going to go into medicine because your dad wanted you to be a doctor. You kind of dabbled with the idea of soccer. You even have mentioned that you kind of maybe wanted to go into aviation. So how did you decide on music? Take us through that whole career, finding yourself journey.
It's crazy, man. I was going to York University at the time. I was doing health and society, as my pre-med. I was just about finishing when I got a record deal. And then I had to put that on pause, went back to Nigeria to push the music. Growing up too, I wanted to play soccer because I was so good at it. It was very natural to me. I almost like enrolled in like a football academy, but all those dreams had to just pause because of the music. The music just chose me and took over everything basically.
Now, how did you tell your dad, who wanted you to be a doctor, that you were going to do music? Because Omo Naija, like what? Like it would have been hard.
Yeah, it was hard, but my dad is really supportive, He's not one of those African parents that are like very like adamant on the things that they want for their kids or whatever. He was supportive. He would even drive me to the studio sometimes, and because he saw the prospects, he was hearing the music. He knew it was good, so he gave me the push that I needed at the time. Shout out my pops.
Shout out to Daddy. Now, do you feel like you identify more as a rapper or as a singer?
Yeah, I think predominantly I've been singing. I haven't really like put out a lot of rap stuff, but on the project for sure, I'm gonna be rapping. I just posted like a rap video on my Instagram right now. It was driving back to the crib, and I just got in the mood of rapping, and it's been a minute that I did that. I missed rapping.
Now, talk us through the process of making the forthcoming album and even your brand new track, because again, rumor has it that you like to record and write in the dark.
Yes. It's really weird, man. These days I don't even write no more. I just freestyle and just hum, and then I learn the lyrics later. But back in the day, I would sit in the bathroom and turn off the lights and just write music. I feel very like free and alone, and that's how I like to make music. But
and how do you get inspired?
I don't know. It's just like whatever I feel, whatever I see, whatever I feel passionate about, I just put it on a song. And for a song like Money Dance, I just felt like 2021, we need to get to the money, and that's how that came about.
I'm receiving, I'm securing the bag all 2021. Now, 4 years ago, you did an interview and you said that you don't drink and you don't smoke, and all your inspiration is just from you, Dice, the ultimate being. Is that still true?
Yeah, that's still true.
Madu.
I just be drinking water and juice.
So how do you move in an industry like this when there is a lot more than drinking and smoking that is around us?
I mean, I feel like I was like natural, like I was really built for the industry. Like I don't need no like stimulants or whatever. I make great records without, drinking or smoking. I do the same things that everybody else doing, what I'm saying? And it's not for everybody, not to say that I have anything against it, know what I'm saying? It's just not my thing.
Kudos to you. Kids, don't do drugs. You heard it from Ailes first, okay? Now, you are currently sitting on about 80,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. That is crazy. When you see those kind of numbers, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I don't be checking numbers, honestly. It's the first time I'm hearing it. I just make the music and then, you know, I let the team do the work. But that's definitely amazing to hear that there's 80,000 monthly listeners. You know, I hope that the numbers grow over time with all the stuff that we have in store for the people. Yeah, shout out to the 80,000 people listening.
That's just on Spotify. That doesn't include Apple Music, Audio Mac, Boomplay.
Everybody listening to Dice, man. Big up.
Love it. Now, talk to us about the Money Mob and how can I get involved?
I mean, just have money, man. Nah, I'm playing. I mean, the Money Mob, the Money Mob is like, you know, it's a team of dream chasers, you know, people trying to get it out here. You know, it's the Money Mob. You don't have to have money as long as you have prospects and you have a dream. You know, you could be a member of Money Mob.
And are you guys a collective, a gang, a label? What is it?
Yeah, it's a movement, man. It's a team of, you know, fashion designers and artists and, you know, in different spheres of life, people just trying to chase their dreams. You know, we just come together and bounce off ideas and, you know, just make things work.
Are you guys, so how did it start? Are you guys like all close friends and then you thought, oh, let's start this movement? Or was it a case of a couple of you guys started it and then more people joined?
I mean, it was my idea, you know. I have a lot of like talented people surrounding me, like my cousins, my friends, you know, real close people to me. And I just thought, you know, we need to give ourselves a name and, you know, we need to be a collective because, you know, throughout my career, I've always worked very closely with like my family. You know, most people around me are like, you know, either bloodly related or like we grew up together, you know, so I just thought, you know, we need to have a name for what we have, basically.
Now that makes sense because like I said, I think the first time I heard of you, or the first time I knew I was a fan of Dice was when Ottadella dropped. And I was like, okay, Ottadella with the money makes sense. And now the latest single is about money and then the mob is the Money Mob. So I'm getting it. The theme is wealth. I'm loving it. I see there's a challenge going on with the money dance. Do you want to bring us in?
Yeah, there's a dance challenge. And then there's also, and I see, you know, before I even announced the challenge, I see a lot of people already like posting videos, throwing money in the air and stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, people are having different interpretations of what a money dance is. So I'm like, you know, just go and show us what your money dance is.
As Gracey said, there's a challenge, so make sure you get involved and hopefully, you know, Dice can share some of that money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
man, we spend a lot of money, man. I've been doing that all year, bro. I've been doing that. I've been giving back to the community, you know. Throughout January, I was, you know, out in the streets, just giving out food and just like giving out money on my socials, you know.
Yeah.
2020 is crazy, you know. We all have to like show love to one another. So I'm out here just supporting, you know, the best ways I can.
No, for sure. Now, moving away from the music a little bit then. So obviously you are you're very young artist. Obviously you're doing well. You're in a great place in the scene, but you are essentially still young. So in terms of your future plans then, are you planning on perhaps maybe going into the whole label side of things or a more philanthropy side of things and doing some work back home, investing back home? Because a lot of artists at the moment are investing back home with the idea of one day moving back home. Is that something that's in your mind at the moment, or?
Yeah, for me, I'm actually merging both. You know, over time, you know, we're gonna establish as like a big record label and, you know, give back to the community, signing talents from Nigeria, from Africa, from, you know, all across the world. And then with the philanthropy side, you know, we're gonna go back home and sort of try to eradicate poverty, because I feel like if we eradicate poverty, a lot of issues that we face as Africans will be solved. You know, that's sort of like the underlying cause for a lot of things that we experience as a people. You know, so over time, that's part of the plans.
With that said, I feel like we see a lot of artists saying that they want to give back, and you know, there's been various degrees of success. Some people have started labels, some people have stopped labels, some people have built wells, some people have plugged wells. How do you feel like you want to be remembered? Because when all is said and done, with all of those efforts, you know, there's a saying, people don't remember what you did, they remember how you made them feel. So how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, man, I just want to be remembered for like making great music and, impacting people's lives positively through my music and through the deeds, through the things that we're going to do, through, the plans to, give back and just support, Black people as a whole. I just want to be remembered for that over time.
For sure, for sure.
Love
Now,
that.
in terms of the album, you mentioned that obviously you'll be getting the album this year. I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows what's happening in the world in terms of travel when it comes to the whole pandemic thing. But once you drop the album, obviously you're gonna have a big promotional campaign for that. Is one of those things gonna include a virtual concert, maybe?
Oh yeah, certainly we have to do a lot of virtual concerts. We cannot physically be there, and thank God this technology. I'm talking to both of y'all right now, all
Yeah,
the way in the UK, and I'm here in Canada, so
yeah,
we can definitely, arrange a lot of those type of stuff to connect with the fans as soon as the album drops.
yeah. 'Cause I feel like you're the kind of person where you have that energy, and seeing you perform with that energy will make you like your music even more. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's the vibe I get from you, innit? So
With that said, I know we've spoken about future plans. So we know we have an album coming. We know we have a couple future shows. We've spoken about currently. We've got the new single out. We've spoken a little bit about the past. But how did you make your start in music?
It started off with me just beating drums. Like I would beat drums on anything, on the door, on the fridge, and then I started to write poems. Whatever I would feel, I would just put it into a poem, and I had like a lot of like books, with like lyrics and stuff. And over time, I wanted to hear it on a beat. I wanted to hear it as a song. And, I went to the studio for the first time, saved up money, recorded my first song, and then that's how, it all started.
Do you remember the first poem you wrote?
Oh, no, I don't.
I feel like you do, but it's corny as hell to some babe from back in the day, so you don't want to expose it. It's fine. We forgive you.
as you said, you started music back then, and around 2014 signed for Big Bad Chocolate City. Now, when that happened, what was your reaction at the time? How did you feel? Because that was like what 2014 is like what 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. So, and you would have been like in your teens at that time.
Yeah.
So, how did it even come about, and how did you feel when it happened? Like, what was your reaction? Were you screaming up and down the streets, or?
When I signed Chocolate City, I had just left Canada. At the time, I just an Afro went to Nigeria to go promote it, and we spoke about doing business together. It was an exciting moment at the time because I was only just starting out to do Afrobeats, and just to see that people were acknowledging, the effort, and that was a beautiful moment in my life at the time.
Was you at home and they hit you up with an email? Did they give you a call? Like, how did you find out?
Yeah, so went over to, so this guy's name is Frank De Niro. He's an artist, so we went over to his house one day. He said that he was going over to Ailes to go record a song. He's like, "Oh, you guys, what are you doing today?" I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, "Okay, let's just go." So we went with him over to Ailes. So he goes into the studio with MI to record. I'm just sitting on the couch, like I'm tired. I was falling asleep. And then my bro just comes and wakes me up. He's like, "Yo, MI wants to have a chat with you. He just heard one of your records." I'm like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Okay." So I go in there, and he's like, "Yo, bro, your sound is amazing. I think you could be big out here." He's like, "Yo, we need to talk business." Following that, I have a meeting with, the CEO. And then I traveled to Canada a couple of days after. And then like 6 months down the line, we already have a contract.
Yeah. But you, obviously at the time you was quite young. So was you excited? Was you scared? Like, did you have a lawyer by you? Because that's kind of a big thing to be doing as a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't scared. It just seemed right. It just seemed like, everything that I was doing, I was writing music, making music, and now people were listening, and now there's a deal. It just seemed right in my head. I wasn't experienced enough, to understand what exactly I was getting into and how to navigate myself through the industry at the time. But, it was definitely a learning experience for me.
No, for sure, for sure. So now that you've gotten to this stage of your career, this age, this level of maturity, do you look back at any situations at the moment and sort of regret any decisions you made back then, or is there anything that you would do differently now, which you did back then?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I look back at it and there were a number of things that I regret, but like they say, you either, it's either a blessing or a lesson, you know what I'm saying? So I just choose to take a lot of things that happened in the past as a lesson. And, I hold that close to my heart and try to avoid, making those type of mistakes. And that has sort of helped me into getting into like the new things that I'm doing with the Money Mob and with, Dice as a human being. I've learned a lot through that process.
When you talk about blessings, one of the things that I love about you as an artist is your bromance with Olamide. He drops a track, you're there. You drop a track, he's there. But how did you meet up with Olamide?
I mean, for me in the industry, like I keep my circle really tight. I don't have a lot of friends. My family's my friends. But I met a couple people in the industry that are really real. Like Olamide. Show me love from the beginning. Even more love than I got from people that were really close to me. Like a real brother. You feel me? So I appreciate that. So I always, every opportunity that I get to show him that I appreciate that, I go out there and just show the word. He's done a lot. Times when I almost gave up on music. Times when I was going through a lot mentally. Olamide was there for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always show him love.
And we love Olamide. We had him on the show a couple months ago. He's a legend. He's an icon. He's amazing. Touching on mental health and, going through highs and lows. Obviously, like Rod said earlier, we've all been living in this Pacaramo, this Pana Chocolat, this, I don't even know, Panasonic. Have you got any words of encouragement for our listeners who might be in lockdown, who might be isolating? I feel like it's a dark time right now. So any words of encouragement for us?
I mean, first of all, I have a song on my album for people, like for depressives and people going through mental health issues. I think it's a big deal. We don't talk about it enough, but a lot of people are silently going through a lot in their heads, you know what I'm saying? And, I just want them to stay strong and hang in there. And, joy is going to come in the morning, basically. Just be strong.
Was that
to that? Sorry, go on.
Was that single inspired by the fact that you maybe have had your periods of depression during this pandemic?
No, not exactly. I mean, the song was made experiencing somebody's mental health issues and having to be like a support system to them. I literally made the song for them to be able to deal with it. Okay. And then I need to share the song with everybody else that could be going through this type of stuff. Because a lot of times when people experience depression, there's nobody to talk to, there's no one to listen to you or understand, what's really going on. So I thought to put a song out there for people to know that we understand it, and you got people that are rooting for you.
So how's your mental health been then the last year and a half? How would you say?
I mean, I think the last year and a half, man, it's been one of the best years for me. Everything, it felt like God just paused the word for me to sort of learn more about myself and plan my future and, put the Money Mob together, make better music, so I think my mental health is I'm in the right place. I'm in a good place right now, mentally. And, I'm making better music. I'm happier than I ever was.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure chatting to you, finally getting to virtually meet you. Now, before we let you go, where can we find you on social media? What's the best place to go to see what you had for breakfast?
Yeah, Instagram, man. I think I'm more active on there. There's too many social media platforms these days. I get confused.
Whoa, I can't keep up.
I can't keep up, but most likely find me on Instagram, Dice_Ailes, Twitter, Dice Ailes. I try every once in a while. I have a social media operator that'll be helping me tweet and do all that stuff. But personally, I'll be on Instagram more. Snapchat. Instagram. Bro, I try, man, but it's too many. I can't even deal with this. It's too many in this clubhouse. They just
Wait. Did you just say you have a Twitter operator? So that time that you tweeted me, it was a robot? Jesus.
No, I tweet myself. I tweet.
Okay. It's okay. What I'm feeling right now is PTSD. It's okay.
No. What happens? Nothing, no tweet can go out without me confirming, right? So like, whatever I tweet is still me tweeting it.
Hallelujah. Don't worry, we'll find you on Clubhouse. It's okay. They can't impersonate your voice.
But yeah, man. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. Until next time, hopefully once this pandemic calms down, we can link up in person. I need to see you live in person. And then
London needs to see you.
I'm supposed to be there this month, but I can't even leave Canada right now.
Damn. What's the situation like with Canada? Can you guys fly out?
I think I can fly to Nigeria because I have a Nigerian passport, and I can fly back to Canada because I have a Canadian passport, but that's about it. I can't really go anywhere else.
Okay.
I think the UK borders are even closed to non-citizens, so...
So, worst case scenario, when you're going back to Nigeria, let us know. We'll meet you there.
Oh, yeah?
Link up! Lagos, link up! Let's do it!
Big love for joining us, bro.
Thanks for having me.